Civic. I'm flossing in my Civic. I'm riding in my.
Alright, so what I've found that works best for me, and what works for me might not work for y'all, but this has been my experience and whatnot, is that what works best for me is just sometimes, in the last video, we assessed the situation. We found out exactly what it was. We narrowed it down to this fuse box on the harness, and then we broke. After that, it gives you a chance to step back, assess the situation, find the best way to proceed moving forward, and then from there, at that point, then you can make the best decision on how to move forward. I still feel as if this little fuse box can be simplified, fixed temporarily, and then we can dive back in and do a harness later down the line if we still so choose to. But for the sake of time and trying to just, boom, boom, then I really, because I said before we wasn't having an issue, and like I said, I really just want to try to put a temporary fix on it for now. Alright, so we confirmed that there is power to the relay. It should be kicking out the fuel pump, so it shouldn't be no issue there. Like I said, at this point, I don't know if with it kicking on like that and trying to run the pump down, I don't fucking know, man, at this point. Because what I don't want to do is prematurely swap out the harness or dive into this harness and it's not doing what it need to do. Because, all right, so listen with me. I'm gonna turn the key on here. All right, so what we do here, so I'm pulling the main fuse. All right, so no power. All right, put the fuse in. So when it click like that and then click off, that should go to the fuel pump. So when it cycles like that, that should be the fuel pump kicking on. I don't hear anything at all. So what that tells me is that either now we are back to the fuel pump issue, which can be quickly verified by spraying some in there. This time not like burning our face off. Some starting fluid. But that's why I said it's weird to me, like what it is going on. But if it's possible that that caused the issue and burned that pump out, then that's just crazy. But that's also what warranties are for. Yeah, see. I damn sure don't want to drop that fucking tank again. But it's definitely not getting no fucking voltage, so, or the pump is definitely not kicking on, so I'm gonna check some connections under the back of the car just to make sure, and then I'll cut y'all back on. All right, so we just got back from the parts store. Well, actually I went to the parts store Went on a ride on the bike. Well, rode the bike to there, then went on the ride, and then kept going. So, basically, what I'm trying to do is, well, basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this new pump on there. I did go ahead and I ordered the actual SP1115 pump that it lasted me so long. I ordered them off of Rock Auto. I think I ordered like 3 of them. 3 of them for like $60. So I have for backup. That way, like this one is covered by warranty, but the next time this shit happen, I ain't gotta fucking stop what I'm doing to go warranty it out. Change that bitch out and go whatever. Like, I mean, technically it shouldn't be going like that, but whatever. I don't know. So let me show you. Let me show you what we actually not came up with, but apparently younger me thought it would be a good idea. So I have my little tester set up right here, and then when I push it, I should be able to give 12 volts to the pump. Oh, hold on. Something's tangled up. Alright. So basically, actually at this point, I should be able to tell the difference even from up here. So right here, so I actually have 2 of these disconnects. One right here, the relay, and the other one is up under the car. So yeah, see, you just heard it. I just primed it. Yeah, this shit is doing what it's supposed to already, and we ain't even cranked the car. So the issue, or what it was doing, that was kind of a telltale. I was putting power directly to the pump. It was only giving me 8 volts. I'm like, what? So I mean, it's like, so you hear it. Crank right up. Crank right up. No issue. Don't ask no questions. Put the goddamn pump up again, man. All right. Let me show y'all what we got going on. So as you can see, we got the box and we got the truck turned around. So after we switched the fuel pump on this one, good to go. It moved like we needed it to move. Good to go. No issues, etc. I just popped that grill back on there momentarily. I need to get some screws so I can just hold it in there. I was doing like a little tic-tac for it, and I just didn't like the way that it looked. It looked crazy. You know, when I say crazy, I do mean crazy. It looks crazy when you don't have what you call in there. So I definitely want to make sure I had the screws or whatever in there. So I'm gonna give a screwdriver in a little bit and some screws, and then we'll have that on there permanently, and that'll be good to go. Other than that, just cleaning, get them cleaned up. I think I might do that tomorrow. Get them a bath. Like I said, I was just trying to focus on trying to get them running, operational, whatever. So that's moving like it should. Now for the C10, had to air up the tires. They've been sitting a little bit. Of course, it need to be cleaned off again. Flipped it around because probably some of this stuff or a lot of this stuff in the bed is gonna get taken out of bed, either go into the shed, put up for sale, put on that trailer, so it can go and be thrown away, discarded of, whatever it is. But yeah, they both sitting party. My boy was telling me about, possibly getting some chrome trim for it. I mean, honestly, I like the way that it looked. Some additional chrome wouldn't hurt, but I like it the way it is. We also was talking about like lowering it just a little bit. It don't necessarily need to come down in the back, but at the front could come a little bit lower. That'd be cool. As long as it don't jeopardize the turning radius, then like I'm good with it. And a lot of times you do run into that when you're trying to lower it, but we're gonna see how it plays out. But for now, we'll leave it as is. I don't think I ever really showed y'all the inside of this one. Has put some upgraded seats in there. Shout out to my boy Cortez. He put me on that whole swapping out the interior thing, man. So he did a middle console in here, and we kept the dash original, changed the seats. The speaker back here, I never did nothing with that, so probably have to get a kit. I did already get the amp and stuff to put back here. So the amp is back here. There was also the little things for the speakers on the side. So we got what we need to upgrade the audio. We just hadn't done it. So maybe that'll happen here in the near future. But I figured that box was a perfect little, you know what I'm saying, a little something, nothing major, but just enough to where it's can do what it need to do. Need to make sure we got that bolted down the way it need to be. So yeah, and that pretty much takes care of what's going on with the truck and the two-door. Oh, also on top of having to air up the tires, I had to add transmission fluid. That transmission is steady leaking that fluid. I don't know where from, but we'll get to the bottom of that as well. Also need the wasp killer cleaner, whatever, because they come in and flying from up under all these vehicles. And then tomorrow we'll probably fool with the Cutlass